as you know, Donald Trump is an idiot. And if you don't realize that yet, you really need to, because it's not good to lie to yourself about your opponent. Do not believe your opponent is smart when they're really stupid. Just like it's bad to believe that your opponent is stupid when they're really smart. You need to be honest about who your opponent is. That's why I remind you over and over and over again that Donald Trump really is as stupid as he appears. It's not an act. Donald Trump really is this fucking dumb. I was going to say pardon the cursing, but you know what? I am who I am. I curse when I get riled up, and so there will be a few F-bombs. Sorry, I know some of you have delicate ears. You tell me this a lot. I apologize, but you know, I am what I am. That's all what I am. Popeye the Sailor Man. Oh yeah, this is what I was going to say. I saw a clip of Donald Trump once again talking about this trade deficit. You know, and he said, you know, because other countries are ripping us off. And that's why we have a massive national debt. A $36 trillion national debt is because other countries are ripping us off. And he's talking about trade imbalances, right? That we buy more from other countries than they buy from us. And that's how they're ripping us off. And that's why we have a $36 trillion debt. Obviously, that is nonsense. It makes no sense. It's not true. It's a lie. Actually, I don't know if it's actually a lie, because a lie is an intentional falsehood. That's the thing. I don't believe that Donald Trump understands the trade imbalance and how that affects the national debt, which it doesn't at all. I don't think Donald Trump understands these basic issues. He is an idiot. See, Donald Trump knows he's an idiot, or he at least knows that he's not as smart as other people. And that's part of the reason why he's such a nasty, vicious person. He's a narcissist, and he's one of these people who lifts himself up by tearing other people down. He's done it his entire life, and he's envious and jealous of people who are actually smart. And that's why it doesn't matter how smart someone is, he says that they're stupid. They're a bird brain, or they're low IQ, or whatever the hell else he says. People who are clearly much, much smarter. I'm standing on a friggin' chunk of ice, I think. It snowed last night. We got like, I don't know, 6-8 inches. And I normally stand in this place. This is one of the places I like to, just bear with me here, because I think there's a chunk of ice that formed under here, and I keep slipping. Anyways, thanks for bearing with me. What was I saying? Yes. That's how he tears people down, because he's an idiot, and he needs to, for other people to think he's smart. And he does that by saying that everyone else is an idiot. Donald Trump wants to be thought of as smart. That's the thing too. You know, you got to understand that. I mean, you should understand that about him. He wants to be thought of as smart. He's always telling us how smart he is. He's the smartest person in the world. He's a genius. One of the examples he cites as evidence of his brilliance is that he had, an uncle, somebody who went to some, really prestigious school. Maybe it was MIT or something. Someone was a professor. I forget the exact, but he's thrown this out a bunch of times. And I guess he's genetically intelligent because he had an uncle who was very smart. So that means that he's smart. Anyway, the point is, Trump wants to be thought of as smart, but he's not, and he never will be. And all these things that actually evidence his stupidity, the fact that he speaks at, third or fourth grade level, he sounds like an idiot when he speaks. He's got a very limited vocabulary. You read his tweets that he puts out, he misspells words, he doesn't know basic grammar, sentence structure. He's an idiot. He's a stupid, stupid man. Do you think he intentionally misspells words? Do you think he intentionally sounds like an idiot because he doesn't know grammar? Donald Trump is so desperate to appear smart. He would if he could. This is the best he can do. It's not an act to appeal to stupid people. He appeals to stupid people naturally because he's a stupid person. He really is that dumb. Anyway, back to the trade thing. So I saw this clip of, I don't know, so I think it was in the Oval Office, and there was press there, and they were asking him, I don't know, they were on the topic of the trade imbalance. And Trump said, you know, we're getting ripped off by all these other countries. That's why we have this $36 trillion national debt. And I'm thinking, does he really believe this? And then immediately correct myself. Yes, he does really believe this. He's really that freaking stupid. He thinks, I mean, we know what this is. So a trade imbalance is if there's, say, Canada. We buy more from Canada than Canada buys from us. And that's not even correct, because that implies the government. We're not talking, the trade imbalance has nothing to do with the government. It's American companies who want to sell to American consumers import goods from Canada. The companies, American companies, import goods from Canada and then sell those goods in America. There are Canadian companies that import goods from Canada and sell them to Canadians. Okay, that's the trade imbalance we're talking about. Where's the government in that? There is no government. The government doesn't make shit. There's no government goods that we're sending. Okay? Not U.S. to Canada, not the Canadian government to us. It's private industry making goods privately and selling them to consumers. Now, the United States, we have 330-something million people in this country. Canada, I forget their population figure. It's much, much less. So just on that alone, of course, we're going to buy a hell of a lot more from Canada. I mean, they're going to, yes, we're going to buy, getting myself confused, I'm all riled up. Yes, we, of course, are going to buy much more from Canada than they're going to buy from us because there's more of us. So you could sell more here than we can sell there. Okay, how is the United States getting ripped off? The American consumers are benefiting greatly by being able to purchase these products from Canada. Things that they can do very well or have that we don't have or can't do as well. We benefit, and based on our, the free trade agreements we've had with Canada, we have benefited by no tariffs involved in all that. So we can benefit from buying their goods. They can benefit from buying things from us. Now, of course, we're going to buy more from them than they buy from us for a whole host of reasons, including population differences. But nowhere in there is the government involved. There is no accumulation of national debt involved at all. This makes no sense. But he honestly believes it because he really honestly is that stupid. But what really pisses me off when I watched that clip of whoever the hell the press person was asking him that question in the Oval Office, why is there never a follow-up question? I mean, I'm going to assume for a second, and maybe I shouldn't make this assumption, but for the purposes of this video, let me just assume that the people there in the assembled press aren't as stupid as Donald Trump, and they actually know that trade imbalances don't add a penny to our national debt. Why is there never a follow-up question when he says stupid shit like that? Why do they never ask him to explain? Why do they never challenge him? He just gets to say this stupid shit. And this is in part why the American people are so breathtakingly uninformed and stupid themselves, ignorant, stupid, whatever you want to say. This is why we have such a dumbed down electorate, in part, because our media is so pathetic. So Donald Trump says something like this, and nobody out there challenges it. Nobody questions it. It would be so easy to follow up. No follow-up. So it goes unchallenged. He puts it out there, gets repeated on Fox News, and tens of millions of people believe it as if it's a fact. That Canada is somehow ripping us off and that it's adding trillions of dollars to our national debt. It's absurd, but they all believe it because they believe whatever Trump says, especially if there's no pushback, no follow-up. And if Donald Trump was ever challenged on this stuff and made to look stupid, maybe he'd stop saying some of this stupid shit, right? I know that's wishful thinking, but it pisses me off because we have such a pathetic press. And, it pissed me off during the campaign too, and it does during every campaign. But, Trump is never asked to explain anything. He says stupid crap, never a follow-up, never asked to explain. And if he was ever put in a position where he had to explain how any of this stuff worked, I mean, I'm a constitutional, law attorney and professor occasionally. You know how much that's my thing, right? The Constitution. What is the president's chief job above all else? Is to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. That's what he swears to do. His oath is to the Constitution. That's the oath he takes. It's to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. That's his number one job above everything else. He's never asked presidential candidates, not even just Trump, but presidential candidates are never asked anything about the Constitution. Shouldn't the person who wants the job of having to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution as their primary responsibility, shouldn't they be asked at least a couple of questions about the Constitution and what the hell they even know about it? But no, they don't. Trump never was. No, none of the candidates are really. But Trump is just the Constitution, economics, whatever it is. He just says stupid shit, and there's never a challenge. There's never a follow-up. And so we have millions, tens of millions of Americans who don't know shit. And now we have a complete buffoon, an extraordinary idiot in the Oval Office. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.